Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to kick off our presentation today. We'll be exploring Mega Goal 1.1, focusing on Unit 3, titled What Will Be, which is all about reading. Today, we'll get a glimpse of what's ahead, including key concepts and activities designed to help us understand and improve our reading skills. Let's get started. Let's take a look at the lesson objectives on this slide. First, our goal is to be able to read the article confidently. Next, we want to match specific information from the text to the questions asked. It's also important that we deduce the heading for each paragraph correctly, which helps us understand the overall structure and main ideas. Additionally, we're aiming to answer questions about the article correctly, demonstrating our comprehension. And finally, we need to learn to understand the meaning of some new words accurately, which will expand our vocabulary and improve our overall reading skills. These objectives will guide us through the lesson and help us achieve a better understanding of the material. So let's take a moment to reflect on what had happened. When we talk about the events leading up to this point, it's important to understand the context and the key developments. This slide is all about setting the scene. What were the crucial moments that shaped the situation? By understanding these facts, we can better grasp the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. Remember, this isn't just about recounting events. It's about connecting the dots and seeing how everything fits into the bigger picture of our overall theme. So, as we go through this, keep in mind the flow of events and how they influence the decisions we're going to discuss later. This slide shows a picture of an old car. Now, what do you think this image is trying to tell us? It might seem simple at first glance, but it actually connects to larger themes we're exploring today, like history, change, and the importance of preservation. Looking at the picture, you can see the wear and tear on the vehicle, which suggests it's been around for quite some time. It's a good visual reminder that many things in our world have stories, and sometimes those stories are reflected in objects like this. Now, how many paragraphs are there in this slide? Well, there are 4 key questions posed here. Each one guides us to think more deeply about the picture and the article it relates to. First, what does the picture show? Second, how many paragraphs are there? And third, what's the title of the article? These questions aren't just about gathering facts. They help us engage critically with the content. The title of the article, in particular, is often a clue to understanding its main message. Connecting this to our overall presentation theme, these questions encourage us to look beyond the surface and consider the stories behind objects and texts. It's about understanding history, context, and meaning, important ideas that run through everything we're exploring today. Today, I want to introduce you to the concept of a time capsule. Essentially, a time capsule is a container that holds a selection of objects. These objects are chosen because they are representative of the current time, giving a snapshot of what life is like today. The idea is to bury this capsule so that it can be discovered in the future. It's like sending a message through time, providing future generations with a glimpse of our world. The key point here is that these objects are carefully selected to reflect the culture, technology, and daily life of our era. This concept connects to the overall theme of preserving history and understanding how society evolves over time. So, a time capsule is more than just a container. It's a bridge linking our present to the future. Today, I want to take you back to Tulsa in 1957, a time when people wanted to show the world who they were and how they lived. One way they did this was by burying a time capsule, a special container filled with items that represented their lives and their community. But why did they choose to bury things? Well, it was a way to witness and preserve a snapshot of that moment in history for future generations. So, in June of 1957, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, a crowd gathered outside the courthouse. It was a significant event, and it drew many people who wanted to be part of this unique moment. The main ideas of this entire story are actually summarized right in the first paragraph of the article, giving us a quick overview of what this event was all about. This slide helps us understand not just the act of burying a time capsule, but also the broader purpose of sharing their story and leaving a legacy for the future. It's a fascinating glimpse into how communities like Tulsa wanted to be remembered and understood by those who would come after them. Today, I want to talk about the intriguing concept of the burial of a car. Specifically, what was the purpose of burying a car for an astonishing 50 years? You might be wondering, why would someone do that? Well, this practice actually holds a lot of significance. It's not just about hiding or preserving the vehicle, it's about creating a time capsule, a way to connect the past with the future. By burying the car, the idea was to preserve it in its original state, almost frozen in time, so that decades later, it could tell us stories about the era it came from. This act also symbolized a form of communication across generations, leaving behind a physical piece of history. The heading to this paragraph is, "The Purpose of this Long-Term Burial." And understanding this purpose helps us see how such acts fit into broader themes of preservation, history, and cultural memory. So, in essence, this isn't just about a car. It's about what we value in history and how we choose to preserve it for future discovery. Let's take a closer look at what the car contained. One interesting detail is that it included 5 gallons of gas. You might wonder why the organizer decided to include that amount. Well, this wasn't just about having fuel on hand. It was about ensuring the car could make it through the entire event or journey without running out of gas. This detail highlights the importance of planning and preparation in any project or challenge we face. By including enough fuel, the organizer was essentially setting the stage for success, making sure that the focus remained on performance and endurance rather than logistical hiccups. This ties into our overall theme of thorough preparation and the importance of anticipating needs to achieve our goals smoothly. So this slide is about a type of contest where people buy a ticket for a chance to win a prize. It's a common way to generate excitement and engagement at events. When everyone came to the event, it really created a lively atmosphere. Now, how did people react to the event? Well, generally, they were eager and enthusiastic, especially because of the anticipation of winning something. It's interesting to see how these contests can boost participation and make the event more memorable. The heading to this paragraph highlights the idea that these contests are simple but effective ways to involve the audience. They connect back to the overall theme of creating engaging experiences. Remember, the key is to make everyone feel like they have a shot at winning, which keeps the energy high and the mood positive. So, 50 years later, this car is now covered in rust. It's amazing to think about how much time has passed and how nature has taken its toll. When it was first found, it was probably in much better condition, maybe even shiny and new. But over the decades, exposure to the elements has caused the metal to corrode and the paint to peel away. The key point here is how drastically the car's appearance has changed over the years, which really highlights the passage of time and the effects of neglect or abandonment. This transformation ties into the overall theme of decay and the passage of history we've been exploring. Looking at this car now, it's almost like a relic, telling a story not just of its original design, but also of the environment and circumstances it's endured. It's a powerful reminder of how objects can tell stories long after they've been discarded or forgotten. Let's take a closer look at Tut's tomb. When we say they lived to see it, we're referring to the people who actually witnessed the discovery of the tomb, which was a monumental event in archaeology. Now, what does it really mean when we say, "It's our King Tut's tomb"? Well, it signifies the importance of this discovery, not just as a burial site, but as a window into ancient Egyptian civilization and its beliefs. The heading to this paragraph, "Tut's Tomb," really emphasizes how central this discovery is to understanding Egypt's history. It's more than just a tomb, it's a symbol of the grandeur and mystery of the ancient world. So, when we talk about our King Tut's tomb, we're acknowledging the shared human fascination with this young king's final resting place. It reminds us of the thrill of discovery and the way such finds connect us across time to the people of ancient Egypt. This tomb has opened up so many insights into Egyptian culture, religion, and art, making it a cornerstone of our understanding of that incredible civilization. This slide doesn't contain enough information. That's why we're moving to the next slide. Let's take a closer look at this vintage vehicle. specifically an old car made between 1919 and 1930. This era was truly transformative for the automotive industry, marking the transition from early, handcrafted vehicles to more mass-produced models. You can see the design reflects the craftsmanship of that time, with distinct features that set these cars apart from modern vehicles. These cars are not just modes of transportation. They're symbols of innovation and societal change during the early 20th century. Recognizing these vintage vehicles helps us understand how far we've come in automotive technology and design. They also connect to our broader theme of progress and evolution in transportation. By studying these models, we appreciate the roots of modern car engineering and the cultural significance they carried in their era. A vault is essentially an underground room designed for security. It has thick walls and a very strong door, which are crucial features. These elements help ensure that valuables stored inside are protected from theft or damage. When we think about safekeeping, the vault structure plays a key role in providing peace of mind. This concept ties into our overall theme of security and protection, highlighting how physical design contributes significantly to safety measures. So, in essence, a vault isn't just a storage space. It's a carefully engineered safeguard for our most valuable possessions. When we talk about something being obsolete, we're referring to it as no longer used, useful, or needed. Usually, this happens because a newer and better version has replaced it. For example, think about old technology or outdated practices that have been phased out in favor of more efficient solutions. Recognizing what is obsolete helps us understand how innovation drives progress. It also emphasizes the importance of continually adapting and updating our tools and methods to stay current and effective. This concept ties into the overall theme of progress and evolution, showing how things that once served a purpose can become outdated as new advancements emerge. A bobby pin is a common type of hairpin that many of us use daily. Usually made of metal or plastic, it's a simple but incredibly useful tool for holding hair in place. You'll often see these tiny pins in various hairstyles, helping to keep everything neat and secure. They're versatile, easy to use, and an essential part of hairstyling. When we think about hair accessories, the bobby pin might seem small, but it plays a crucial role in achieving polished looks. It's a perfect example of how simple tools can make a big difference in our overall appearance and confidence. Now, let's talk about microfilm. Microfilm is essentially a type of film used for photographing information. The main idea here is that it allows us to store large amounts of data in a very compact form. By capturing documents or images onto this film, we can reduce their size significantly while still keeping the information intact. This makes microfilm an efficient method for archiving and preserving records over long periods. It's a perfect example of how technology has evolved to help us manage and access information more effectively, fitting into the broader theme of information management and preservation. When we talk about withstand, we're referring to the ability to stand up against challenges or resistance. It means to endure or resist pressure, obstacles, or difficult situations. Essentially, if something can withstand a storm, it can survive harsh conditions without breaking or failing. This concept is really important because it highlights resilience and strength, whether we're talking about materials, systems, or even people. In the bigger picture, understanding what it means to withstand helps us appreciate the qualities needed to survive tough times and to persevere through adversity. So, in summary, to withstand is to stand firm and survive despite difficulties. So, the main purpose of this slide is to give us a glimpse into how people lived in Tulsa back in 1957. It's fascinating to see what everyday life looked like during that time. Interestingly, they even included gas in their plans, anticipating that the combustion engine might become obsolete someday. It shows how forward-thinking they were, thinking ahead about future transportation needs. Then we see a note that the microfilm, this tiny record of history, is actually now obsolete. It's a reminder of how quickly technology evolves and how some methods of preserving history become outdated. There's also a fun part about someone trying to guess the population of Tulsa in 2007. It highlights how people have always been curious about growth and change over time. Finally, a bit of a cautionary tale. Water got into a vault, causing a car to rust, and unfortunately, the microfilm for that contest was lost. It underscores how fragile historical records can be and how important it is to preserve them properly. Overall, these points tie back to our theme of understanding change over time and the importance of preserving history, even as technologies and circumstances evolve. Let's take a moment to imagine what we might find if we looked inside a woman's purse and its contents. It's a small window into her world, her daily life, her priorities, maybe even her personality. It reminds us that sometimes the little details tell the biggest stories. Now, shifting gears, I want to emphasize the importance of resilience. To truly understand history and progress, we need to live long enough to see the fruits of our efforts, to win the prize, so to speak. Persistence over time is what drives change and achievement. And speaking of change, let's take a quick look at Tulsa in 1957. It was a different place then, full of possibilities but also challenges. Understanding what Tulsa was like back then helps us appreciate how far we've come and what it took to get here. Together, these points reinforce the overall theme of growth, resilience, and the importance of understanding history to shape our future. Let's take a moment to discuss what we've covered today. Throughout this presentation, we've explored key concepts that are essential for understanding the broader context. The main points highlight the importance of integrating these ideas into our strategies and workflows. By connecting these concepts, we see how they reinforce each other and contribute to achieving our overall goals. It's important to remember that the success of these initiatives depends on how well we understand and apply these principles in real-world scenarios. So, as we move forward, I encourage you to think about how these insights can be adapted to your specific needs and challenges. This discussion is crucial because it helps us solidify our understanding and consider practical next steps. Thank you for engaging with these ideas today. Now, let's look at the final slide, which is all about the workbook exercise, specifically Exercise K on page 246. This is a great opportunity for you to apply what we've discussed today through some practical, hands-on practice. The goal here is to reinforce your understanding and help you see how these concepts work in real-life scenarios. Remember, engaging with these exercises isn't just about getting the right answers. It's about deepening your grasp of the material and connecting it to the bigger picture of our overall theme. Think of this as a way to solidify your learning and prepare you to confidently apply these skills in your own work. So I encourage you to take your time with this exercise, really reflect on each question, and consider how it relates to what we've covered. Doing so will make the concepts more meaningful and memorable. And of course, if you get stuck, review the key points we've discussed. Those will guide you toward the right solutions. Ultimately, this exercise is a vital step in mastering the content and moving forward with confidence.